On my way over here tonight, I thought of what I would say to the family, and to the friends, and especially to the parents. And I couldn't find any words. But I want to say that I've traveled this country extensively. And I've been with families who've lost their children, their sons and daughters, to situations just like this. And what happens is people are killed. Nobody's talking. The cases don't get solved. And it happens over and over and over. Until every other weekend we're at vigils just like this. Because nobody's talking. Nobody cares. We care on Facebook. And I'm gonna be real, we care on Instagram and on Twitter. But if you really care, you be making a difference in your own community. You go back home tonight thinking of, what can I do to help my community? How can I give back to my community? How can I make my community a safer place to live? So when you leave tonight, think about that. Seriously, think about it. 5, 10, 15 minutes. Think about, what can you do? What's one thing you can do to make your neighborhood safer? So that we don't have to come back here again next week or some other part of town in Greenville. Because frankly, I'm tired of going to funerals. I'm tired of speaking at vigils and rallies, and I'm tired of marching. But I do it because I care. I do it because I care about these mothers that have to sit through funerals and have to lay their children to rest. And I can't imagine how it must feel to bury a child. Somebody that you raised from birth. Somebody that you talk to on the phone every day and every night. Somebody that you've loved with your entire heart. Relentlessly. Unconditionally. And to get a phone call saying your child's never gonna come back home. Especially on Thanksgiving. Especially on Thanksgiving. So now for the rest of her life on Thanksgiving, she has to think about her child being killed, or their children being killed on Thanksgiving. And you have to ask yourself, what can you be thankful for if your child is dead and died on Thanksgiving? But if you have faith in God, you know you have so much to be thankful for. If at least just the fact that He gave you those few years that you've had with your child or with your friend. Now, I didn't know either one of the guys personally, but I saw on my Facebook, on Instagram, most of my friends knew them. And so I'm sure I've seen them at some point in my life, but I don't know them personally, but I like I said, I'm pretty sure I've seen them before. But that's not important. What's important is that we leave here tonight with real solutions, real plans, real ideas to make our community a safer place. Because I was in Ferguson last week, and I don't feel right going to Ferguson, protesting and rallying, and coming back home, and my home is in a mess. So seriously, y'all, think about what you can do to make your community better. Because it really could be you next, male or female. You could be next, I could be next.
Did you talk to her?
And that's what we've got to start realizing, is that we could be next. Your brother could be next, your sister could be next, your mother could be next.
There's no script, there's no real, Thank you, Derek. Thank you. I hear a lot of crying. I mean, this is very serious. And Mrs. Community, Tracy Fant, has been at a lot of situations like this, and here she is now.
So this is a lot harder than usual for me, because I'm standing at a candlelight vigil for my friend's son. And for all the years that I've done this, the countless numbers of funerals, the countless numbers of vigils that I've attended, very few are people that I know. So I'm gonna ask you guys, could you put your hands up, point a finger up to the sky. This right here is for Vess, and this right here is for Jamal. A few years ago, I lost my brothers to the streets. My brother Andre was murdered at only 15 years old, and my brother Charles was 27. I know the pain of losing a sibling, being a sister, but I don't know the pain being a mother. But I'm going to speak to you from a mother's voice. The same night this happened to her son, my son left. My son left the house to go to a club. And in the middle of the night, he got into an altercation in my neighborhood. He was almost attacked by a guy with a knife. When my son ran in the house and woke me up, my heart dropped. Just to think about someone trying to take my child's life. I could not imagine in a million years what she's going through. And I never want to imagine in a million years, because I read her status update and it said, he took my first love, my firstborn child. The pain that she must be going through, knowing that 27 years ago she had a child and she named him Sylvester Fuller. And she had all these hopes and dreams for him. Everything that he went through in life, she helped him with. All the struggles, she helped him with. Everything that he went through in life, she tried to lead his steps. She prayed over him constantly. She loved him dearly as a mother, and his father and his stepfather and everyone else around him here today. They loved him dearly. And it makes me wonder that for a split second, did the person that took their lives even think about that? For one split second, they didn't even think about all the people that loved that person, everybody whose life they were going to affect by taking these two lives right here on that Thanksgiving morning. Because like Derek said, Thanksgiving will never be the same for these families. In fact, Thanksgiving will never be the same for me. Because when I heard that on the news, I immediately went to my son's room. I immediately began to pray, and then when someone contacted me and told me it was my friend's child, I was speechless. I was at a total loss of words. What do you say? How can you console a mother? Do you hear her crying? How can you console that? What can you say? I'm going to pray for you. That's not good enough. I'm going to pray for you. That's not good enough. Those words right there are only going to bounce off of her just like the tears is bouncing off her cheeks right now. What can we do as a community to be better to each other? What can we do? We'll rally for Ferguson. We'll rally for Sanford, Florida. We'll rally for all these other places. But when it comes to our own, we stand back and pretend like it's not even happening. What can we do to stop mothers from crying? She's going to lose sleep. Countless nights of sleep. Her life will never be the same. His children's lives, they will never be the same. His wife's life, they will never be the same. The people that loved him, his family, his friends, everyone he had touched in any type of way, their lives will never be the same because of one senseless act. You don't have the right to take someone's life. That's not your right. You don't have the right to take someone's child. That is not your right. We don't have a right to make that call. I don't have the right to say, okay, this morning I'm going to go outside and take JJ's life. That's not my right. Everybody's lives matter. We all matter. We need to start remembering that and believing that and understanding that. We are all valuable people. Everyone loves someone just like she loved her son, just like you love your mom, just like your dad loves you. Everybody has that same amount of love in their heart for someone in their family. We don't have the right to keep doing this to each other. And until we stand up as a community and say, our lives matter, you don't have the right to take my life. I don't have the right to take your lives. My brother, I love you. Look look in the mirror sometimes and think about all the people we're affecting. This community is hurting. My prayers go to Pretty and her husband and just everyone else that this is affecting. And I just hope that we all learn from this, because I don't want to be back in this same spot next week or next month or not even next year. Your lives matter. We all matter. We need to start instilling that in each other.
Thank you. Tracy Frank, thank you. This is not easy, and it won't be. It's just, we're here to help each other.